Good morning to everyone. I am Bala Saraswati, Assistant Professor of Home Science, V.V. Vanya Perumal College for Women, Virudhunagar. Today we are going to see about program planning in extension. Extension is a word derived from the Latin roots. Ex means out, tensio means stretched. That is, stretched out into the villages and fields beyond the limits of the schools and colleges. Whenever we do extension activities, we have to plan the program. Here we are going to see about the steps involved in program planning. Before entering into the steps, we will see what do you mean by extension program. Extension program is a statement of situation, objectives, problems and solution. It is a continuous problem but that requires a constant revision. Extension program is a statement of situation, objectives, problems and solution. It is a continuous process but requires constant revision. Program planning is a process of making decision that will carry into future action. The decision have to be made about what is the present situation is, how it could and what to be changed and what means can be used to accomplish the new and more desirable situation or the changes. This is a conscious effort to meet the needs, interests and wants of the people to whom the program is intended. Now let us move on to the steps involved in program planning. Program planning process consists of 8 steps. The first one is a collection of fact and second one is a analysis of the situation. Third step is a identifying the problems and fourth one is the determination of objectives and fifth one is the development of plan of work and sixth one is the execution of plan of work and seventh step is the evaluation of the program and eighth one is the reconsideration. Now let us see one by one. First one is the collection of fact. Sound plan are based on availability of relevant and reliable facts. So the facts, it may be regarding the village people, about the peoples, their physical conditions and their existing farm and home practices, trends and outlook. Apart from these, we used to collect the facts regarding their cultures, their traditional way of living and the rural institution and people's organization working in the particular village or particular areas. These facts can be obtained from two sources. One is from primary source and another one is from the secondary sources. Primary sources can be get it from the people by using the interview methods or interview schedule questionnaire or by using the observational techniques. The secondary data can be obtained from the literatures, bulletins, journals and then reports from the government office, census report or the report from the Central Bureau of Statistics, Planning Commission and also from the past experience of the people. After collecting the facts, we have to analyze it. That is the second step. After collecting the data, it should be analyzed and interpreted to find out the needs and the problems of the village people or the people to whom the program is intended. And the third step is the identification of the problem. As a result of the analysis of facts, The important gap between what is and what had to be has to be identified. The gap between what is and what had to be is called as need. So, need is the difference between what is and what had to be. Need consists of two types. One is felt need and another one is a unfelt need. Felt need is called as a recognizable one and unfelt need is a unrecognizable one. And then we have to identify or locate the causes for the problems arises in the particular situations. After identifying the problems, we have to determine the objectives. Once the need and problems of the people have been identified, they are stated in terms of objectives and goals. Objectives means expression of the end towards which our efforts are directed. It gives direction to any programs. Whenever we plan any program, first and foremost what we will do means we will frame the objectives because that is the anchor to the project. And then goal, that is nothing but when that objectives are stated along with time, that is called as a goal. And then the objectives represent the forecast of the changes in the behavior of the people and the situation to be brought about. Even it may be a long term, short term or medium term. So based on the situation, based on the problems, so we have to set that what objectives, always the objective should be a measurable one and at the same time it is a attainable one. Then only the program will be progress in a better way. After determining the objectives, we have to develop the plan of work. Plan of work, that is nothing but it is an outline of activities. It will answer the questions what, when, where and by whom the work is to be done. When it is arranged chronologically, that is called as a calendar of work. It may be a seasonal, short term and annual or long term plan. So after planning our program, so once the action plan has been developed, arrangement for supplying the necessary inputs, credits, teaching aid, extension literature has to be made and the specific action has to be initiated. The execution of the plan of work is to be done through the extension method for stimulating the individual and groups to think, act and participate effectively. If your program to be an effective one, so you have to make the people to involved in each and every steps. Then only the outcome of the program will be a successful one. And then seventh step is the evaluation. Evaluation is refers to as judging the value of something. Something in extension may be the program or the methods or the teaching aids or the process. So here it is done to measure the degree of success of the program in terms of objectives and goals set forth. This is basically done to determine the changes in the behavior of the people as a result of the extension program. In this stage, we will identify the weak and strong points of the program. After evaluating the program, so we will reconsider. Suppose if the program is a successful one means, and then we will take the same program into the another area with a slight modification and there we will implement it to accomplish the desirable task. Suppose if it is a failed one, there is a weak point in it means, so we have to alter the weak points, modify the weak points, and we have to make some changes in the program, and we will implement the same program in the same area with slight modification. So that only we used to call that program planning is the continuous process, and we used to call it as a never ending process. Already now we have seen 8 steps. So among the 8 steps, the first 4 steps is called as a program phase, and the next 3 steps is called as a action phase, and the 8th step that will consider for reconnect the first phase, that will be used to reconnect the first phase, that will make the program a continuous one. So if your program to be an effective one, always we have to plan the work. So planning is very, very essential for all the programs, that is that will make the program more effective and a successful one. So planning is very, very essential. Till now we have seen what do you mean by extension program, what do you mean by program planning, and the steps involved in the program planning. Thank you very much for hearing my session, and then we will meet it in another session. Thank you.